So we filed a little further on this side, and we're running into a little bit of a problem. It's one of two things. I'm having difficulty reaching a couple of spots. You see a few spots where the file hasn't touched it. You can see the edge of the weld right in there. You can see where I've touched it here, and I've touched it here, but I have not touched it right there, or right there, or right there, or there. What I'm thinking the problem is either when the Brita stampings were put on, it pushed the side of the receiver in just a hair. I've noticed that on 45s whenever I work on 1911s, where they've done the lettering, where they've stamped the lettering on the side. That whole area where the lettering is actually low. It pushes the whole area of steel in. So that could be what we're facing here, because you can plainly see the outline of the weld, and it's flush in a few spots, but it's low. So either it was low from Brita stamping it, or it caved in a little bit from the heat of the welding. I'm not 100% sure. But a straight file just ain't happening. I don't want to take too much meat off of all the other areas to try and reach that. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of creative filing. I'm going to have to file. I might even use a stone and go in, and I don't want to make this area low because it'll show in the bluing. But I'm going to have to reach those edges somehow. So it's going to take a little bit of creative filing and stoning to get it so it doesn't look low. But we can get it. Just wanted you to see. We're getting close. We're just running into a bit of a problem, but that's all right. We'll get it beat. I'll get back to you in a few minutes. I think we can solve this situation. All right. All right. So I spent a little bit of time. I filed a little bit more, and I end up stoning a little bit. And I'm happy now. That's you can see in her reflection that she's nice and straight. There's no issues as far as straightness or not. But what I do notice, and it might be a little difficult for this camera to actually focus in and see that, but let's just see if we can get it to cooperate a little bit. With it this shiny, it's a little hard to see, but maybe I can get it out of the light a little bit. We got just a couple. Look like pinholes in the weld. You can see one right. See the one right there? It's like another couple right there. Where are they again? They're very hard to see, but they will show up in the bluing. So I got to make sure that I get that looked at. I might have to take it back into the TIG welders. I mean, those dots are real small here. Now I can see them in the light a little bit better. They're tiny, but they are there. If I get in close enough, you can see tiny, tiny. They're microscopic pits. One right there. Looks like a little bit in here, but very minor. But they'll go in and micro weld those, because I got that nice and straight. I got all the file marks up. You can see that she's looking pretty nice. She's pretty straight now. That'll look good blued, other than those couple pinholes I don't like. Now, I just started polishing on the heel, and I just wanted to show you how it's coming along. Now, it looks pretty good, but once again, it has, and I just want you to see it so you know what to look for if you ever try to do something like this. There. See those odd file marks in there that we haven't got out yet? You got too much light here. See those odd file marks up near the, over on the right side? I haven't got those out yet. Still see them. Got them all out at the very back pretty much, but there's still a few odd ones up close. Once again, we've got to be really careful with this line. We don't want to knock this line off. I mean, even if we touch it a little bit the odd time, I'm going to file that line itself. So by taking that down a thou, it'll sharpen this line back up. But once again, I always try to do one section at a time. I don't get too in a rush. So it's going to do the, I did the side, and then we'll do the heel. I'll get the other side here. Now on this other side, all we got to deal with really, all right, I see there's a ding or a pit right there. We'll get that out. But it's mostly those machining marks I want to get out. So, and then the back end, of course, is pretty bad. But so we'll just do one section at a time. I just wanted to show you We're getting close with the filing. Kill some of this light. Let me just try shutting this light off again. And maybe you can see a little closer, but yeah, you can see them. You can see those file marks. So we got to work on them. Got to get them all out of there. Yeah, you can see them there. So we'll get those out. So it's coming along. That was my big concern there, and that, like I say, I'm real happy with that. Other than a couple of stray pinholes. So anyway, I'll keep working away on this, and we'll see how it looks. All right, we're back again. A few minutes later. I just wanted to show you. I'm going to try and get in really close. Get this camera to cooperate. You can see I have polished basically this half of the heel. I just want to show you, get in nice and close, I want to show you what you're looking for. I polish this to about 200 if I'm going to bead blast it. If you want the high polish, you got to go higher than 200. You got to take it to 4 or 6, depending on what the customer wants. But this is just going to get a kind of a dull military blue, a semi-gloss. So you can see the difference when you're preparing metal. You can see the difference between, and get this camera to focus, and you'll see the definite difference. Okay, she's focusing in now. You can see the difference between this side. You can see the odd stray file marks on this side. Move around nice and slow, getting close. Okay, you can see them. See those odd stray file marks in there? Whereas the other side, there are none. None. So that's what you're looking for. I mean, you got to look close, you got to go slow. Sometimes you got to sand in a couple of different directions. Sometimes if a scratch or a file mark runs this way, straight up and down, if you file or polish left and right, all of a sudden that file mark will jump right out. You'll see it from a million miles away. So a couple different directions. Once again, see, that looks good. We're happy with that. Other than those couple of little odd pinholes we weren't 100% happy with, but we'll you can see them. They're awful small, little tiny dots, but they are there. Now, it may be that the new lettering that the customer is requesting may hide all that. It might, by the time we laser burn new markings in this, going to have a lot of different markings put on this gun. You might not even see those tiny pits. They are awful small. So I'm going to see what he wants for engraving first before I go to the trouble to take it to the welders and have them micro weld those pinholes, and then we'll see. But I wanted to really show you, just what you're looking for when you're finishing the metal. So like I say, you can still see the odd file mark in that right hand side compared to that left hand side. So that's what you're looking for. Nice, smooth, no file marks. You can see there's nothing. So I'll work on this side a little bit, and that heel will be done as far as the top. I still got to do this side and then the back, but at least you see how far we got to get that metal, how nice we got to make it look. So, and beyond this, it's even going to be bead blasted, so that's going to even eliminate these polishing marks. So anyway, I wanted you to see that. We'll go a little further, and we'll get back to you when she's all done. Alright, I just wanted to show you one thing. I spotted something that, once again, if you look very carefully, there's a pinhole there. You see that little dot? A tiny little dot, you see it? So that's a little tiny pinhole in the weld, near as I can tell. It's so hard to see, I almost can't see it, but it's right there. So, once again, like I say, those file marks. So, I just wanted to show you that pinhole. That, once again, if we determine that the new markings might go in the same spot as that pinhole is, then we don't have to fix the pinhole. But if not, then we will have to get it filled. But I just wanted you to see that. All right. All right, we've got all our polishing done on this heel. If I can get in close and get the camera to focus in nice. You'll see, other than our polishing marks from the emery cloth or whatever. So that's all looking good. All the scratches are gone. You can't tell this ever had any writing or nomenclature on there. So now we've got a nice blank sheet of paper to work with, so to speak, you know. And whatever markings the customer wants to put back here, now we can do it. Same with on the side. The side is nice. It's done now, other than those possible little pinholes. But once I know where his lettering is going to go, then we'll decide whether we're going to fill the pinholes or not. So that was really the worst of the filing on this receiver. The rest is just machine marks. I've got a little bit to do here that they welded, but that I don't have to be as picky there. It's underneath the wood line. So, but you know, you can see a few odd machining marks that are going to need to be taken out of there if we want it to look nice for the bluing. We've got a few little pits right there, and there's a little bit of some damage right there, but nothing major. So anyway, I'll get that taken care of, and I'll get back to you.